Now to the mill, and like I said, we're talking about milling your own grain. There's 3 types of milling processes out there. There is the stone mill, a burr, and micro milling heads. The burr and the stone mill tend to glaze over with heat, and they normally heat your flour, your grain, as it's grinding into flour, into high temperatures. And it's been found that high temperatures do cause nutritional loss in your flour. Thus, we'll just talk right now about the micro milling heads that the Nutri-Mill has. It's actually stainless steel teeth that are spinning at 28,000 RPMs. As I fill this hopper completely full, it'll grind the grain down into flour, completely fill the canister. And the flour that I will pull out of this canister will be very cool. It'll be at about 105-degree temperature, not hot at all. Another reason the micro milling heads, as the wheat hits the micro milling heads, it explodes, like I said, into flour, and you're keeping the nutrition, but you're also getting flour very quickly. I can have enough, 5 pounds, this will make 5 pounds of flour, and I can have enough flour in about 5 minutes to make a full batch of bread. And then I'll have another added thing when I was talking about the nutritional loss that you can get when you grind your flour. You can stave that off by putting your fresh ground flour into the refrigerator, or you could even freeze it, and that will stay off the nutritional loss. Again, one of the things I like particularly about the Nutri-Mill is, if you notice right here, it has the fine, it has the high noon, and then you have the coarse. The fine, you can make the flour on fine, but it doesn't, it's really not needed, because when you do the high noon, it is very fine flour. In fact, that's where I mill all my flour, for baked goods, pastries, to bread flour. I just do high noon. The more used area is the coarse ground. This is the only mill out on the market that can make you a coarse ground flour. That would be like the consistency of wheat germ, and you would be able to make a cooked cereal if you're preferring to have wheat germ or germade type cereals. So that's a real plus on this one. Another thing about this one over the other micro milling heads mills and stone mills that are on the market is that this is a quiet mill. When I turn it on, you'll notice it's noisy. Yeah, it does make noise, but it doesn't sound like a jet airplane going off. Most of those out in the market, when you turn them on, it's this high-pitched, shrill noise that no one can talk over, much less want to stay around on them. But this one also, where it parts as far as being unique and a great machine, is it's dustless. There is no dust that it pulls out, throws out at all. And the other thing is it doesn't clog. This is the only mill out on the market that you can actually have grain in the hopper, and I would say need to turn the machine off. It won't affect and clog up this mill, where all the others on the market, it would do that. So that's another plus of this Nutri-Mill compared to the others out on the market, and why I like them. What I'm going to do is just grind enough for you to hear it, see it in action. I've already milled enough for us to make bread with, but I just wanted to quickly let you see some of the specs of our mill and let you know about it. So I'm going to turn it on, and then we'll talk a little bit about the canister and what's in it.
Go.
Okay, now we have milled the full canister full, and when you're going to pull it out, you'll just simply pull out the canister. And you'll notice there's a little sponge there that just helps in the airflow. You twist your canister lid off, and now you have fresh ground flour. And if you notice there's this cup in here, well, this cup, when I'm putting my flour together, my canister together, the cup sits on the lid. And that helps the airflow, as this is very powerfully making us fresh ground flour. I now have fresh ground flour with all the 39 vitamins and minerals in it. And I want you to watch as I put the lid on. You're simply going to twist the lid on, and then you'll see that we were putting it together, and you'll hear, and this is what you want to listen for, is the snap. Because a lot of people will leave it there and think it's in just by simply putting it, but you want to listen for the snap.